Hey man, Hebron Ben Bilal come back at you with another edition of this Boomer's Logic, man. Out and about doing my 1-2 thing this morning. But took a break, pause, because I seen something last night and I wanted to share with you guys about this new movement that's going on down in Chicago called Flip It Red. Flip It Red. But before I get into this, man, if you haven't already, go to the channel, Boomer Logic, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So this whole movement, new movement that they got in Chicago called Flip It Red, is a new movement amongst the poor black communities. It's none of the richer blacks, it's the poor black community. I'll explain why. It's the poor black communities. But they have a movement. I mean, everybody's wearing the gang members. Everybody is wearing this Flip It Red. So what Flip It Red is a movement to stop voting Democrat and vote Republican. Because, you know, the Chicago, if you don't know, Chicago is a Democratic city. And they've always voted Democrat. But they're tired of the blatant and obvious disregard that the Democrats have for the lower class blacks. And they've banded together, they've come together as a unified unit, and now they're campaigning and you know, getting together and saying, hey, listen, we need to change this thing and flip it and vote red from here on out. So that's why they're calling it Flip It Red. Flip Red, because they intend on trying to get all of Chicago to do this. Now, I heard a town hall meeting yesterday. I'm not sure exactly when the town hall meeting was held, where a lot of these people who are pushing and promoting this Flip It Red were there talking to this Mayor Johnson. Now, this Mayor Johnson, he's an absolute token nigga. I mean, he is such a token, man. He pushes that homosexuality, the defund the police, bond reform, that immigrant sanctuary city stuff, to the point that it has totally obliterated Chicago, where nobody wants to be there anymore. And the poor blacks in Chicago are tired of it. So I'm watching this this town hall, and you have these people standing up telling this dude, man, we're voting Trump in. And I mean, they flat out told him, I wish I could do the side-by-side thing so I could show you about what I'm talking about. But they told this dude, we voting Trump in because he's going to get you out of here. We don't want you anymore. We want you out, and the best way to get you out is to vote Trump. Because the lower class blacks are being affected. Charlamagne the God, Beyonce, Cardi B, the ones who are on these social media platforms begging you and promoting Kamala Harris and promoting the Democratic Party, none of these policies affect them at all. Because you know why? Because they already have money. They've already arrived. None of this stuff, immigration, none of this stuff affects them. They don't have to wake up and open their door and you got immigrants all camped out, and you know, the crime rate is gone through the roof, and the immigrants are taking over abandoned buildings, and you know, you don't have that in your community. These policies are affecting lower class blacks. And here's the good part. Well, that's the bad part. The good part is that now lower class blacks are waking up to the reality that it's their vote that pushes the needle. The lower class blacks, because you don't have a high contingency of rich blacks. They're already bought and paid for it. So they don't have to worry about which way they're going to vote. 9 times out of 10, most of them are going to vote Democrat, right? It's the lower class black who has to be swayed. This is why you have the Cardi B's, and see, it's the dock workers, the warehouse workers, the restaurant workers, the fast food workers, those people who are just scraping to get by. Those are the ones who have to be swayed. So you get the Cardi B's and the Jay-Z's and the Beyonce's, because that's who they're looking up to, because they're so down so far down the totem pole. I mean, they're literally at the bottom of the totem pole. So they're looking up and they're getting told to do this. So like the mice, the Pied Piper and the mice, they whistle a tune, you follow. But now these communities are now coming to the realization that it's our vote they need, ours, the lower class black, to get them elected in office. It's our vote to put this Mayor Johnson in office, and he cares nothing about us. The only people they are going to pander to are those who are already counted amongst the elite. They're not going to try to pander or even take care of the lower class black. The people who are in the projects, the people who are in low income housing, they don't care anything about them until election time. That's it. That's the only time they care about you. And now these people in Chicago are coming awake, getting awakened to this reality. These people have disrespected y'all blatantly for 4 years. For 4 years. I mean, I'm looking at it like, what in the hell are these people not seeing? Once again, I don't vote. I'm a Hebrew. Your system is not my system, but I do have the ability, because your country says I have freedom of speech, so I can observe as an outside observer, tell you what I'm looking at. These people treat y'all, and I'm gonna be honest, they treat you like slaves. They treat you like slaves without your labor, without your general labor, without your energy. This country could not continue to exist. And I'm not saying destroy the country, but these people that y'all continue to put in these positions of power, especially this dude in Chicago, this Mayor Johnson, he is an abomination, man. I mean, he is so corrupt. First off, he done tore that budget all the way apart, right? Next, he's pushing these agendas that are hurtful to the lower class black community, where bond reform he got bond reform now. Their jails have become revolving doors. These dudes is going in jail for shooting people, selling drugs, and they're pumping them right back into the community, right? It's basically a catch and release. The same thing they got with the immigrants. You catch them, release them. They call it catch and release. If you don't believe me, look it up. When the organization ICE catches illegal, it's called catch and release. This all started underneath Biden and Harris. It's called catch and release. You catch an immigrant and you release them. It's called catch and release. And it's the same thing that this dude promoted down there on a different platform with this whole bond reform. So what happens is, once again, you get these violent criminals, drug dealers, and they go to jail, they come right back out, and guess where they go? Right back into the neighborhood. It was so bad once, I showed my wife a video. She couldn't believe it. This one dude, he was a scourge. I'm talking about, he videoing himself on FaceTime doing drive-bys. He's on social medias doing drive-bys. I'm talking about FaceTiming himself doing drive-bys. Literally. I'm telling you, I can't make this up. If you go Google it, this is what this dude was doing. So every time they caught him, and he was down in Chicago, every time they caught this dude, guess what happened? They released him because of this bond reform that this mayor had set in place, because somehow bonds are racist. So what happened was, this dude kept getting released. I mean, on multiple shootings, drugs, getting caught with firearms, all kind of, man, this dude had an extensive list of things that he had already done. And they kept pumping him right back into the lower class community, where he can continue to shoot, continue to do what he wanted to do, right? So one day, now I can't remember exactly how it happened, but he got in a high-speed chase, and he ended up in a whole nother county. He ended up outside of Chicago. He ended up in a whole nother little city. And when they caught him, the people in it, when the police in that town caught him, they made, oh man, I wish I could do a side-by-side and show you what this, what I want to say. It was the chief of police. Somebody did you gotta Google this and look it up. They gave you know how they do the little interviews, and during their interview about the dude, They said, no, he's not going back. He's not going back there because all they're going to do is release him. He said, we got him now. We're going to deal with him. Man, they gave that man about 40 or 50 years. They booked him solid. They gave that man about, I think it was 30 years, something like that. They booked him solid. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's happening in Chicago, and it is affecting poor black communities. And they've had enough. They woke up to the realization that democracy is built to keep a foot on your neck. Not the ones who've arrived. They don't get affected by these things. They're used to promote the Democrats and make you believe that, oh yeah, the Democrats are the way to go. Nah, not right now. I don't know about it in the future. I don't know anything about, politics like that, but I'm telling you right now, these people have put the homosexuals first. First and foremost is the homosexuals. Then the white community. Then the foreigners. And then it's you. You're at the bottom of the rung. And then once the crumbs trickle down to you, you don't get nothing. There's nothing left for you to get. That's why your communities continue to stay the same way. I love the fact that y'all unified. I love the fact that y'all finally came to a state of awakening, that you recognize that these people mean you no earthly good. Now that you've unified, the next step is for you to get one voice. Like the dude Nipsey Hussle that was in California. He was the voice of his particular community because they knew him. He was from the streets. They seen him rise. He was not some bougie politician who came in with smooth words. No, he allowed his money to be the key to success in his community because he had money. He didn't come out giving grandiose speeches. He came out and started leading and building in his community, beautifying. He wasn't giving speeches. He was just doing. And they took him and propped him up. I think the whole Nipsey Hussle thing, just a side note, I think it was bigger than just some gang member, retaliation type thing. I believe that they wanted him dead. I believe that. I believe they wanted him dead because he started to become a messiah in this community. You know what I'm saying? He started to lead his people to a place where, they became economically independent. That's what he was doing. And this is what you need, Chicago. This is what you need now. Blacks everywhere, you need this now. Just like Martin Luther King, the way he led his community, he led the black community back in the day. This is what you need. You don't need a politician. You need to grab somebody that's in your community that you see every day. Please don't grab one of these pastors. Don't do it. Snake oil salesman. Please don't get another black woman and stick her up there. They're easily swayed. They're easily swayed. Look at the BLM movement. Soon as y'all put these black women in position of power, soon as they got the money, they took off and ran and lived in a mansion and said, F y'all. Y'all ain't heard from them since. Don't do it. Get you a grown man out of your community that's going to stand for you and stand with you because he understands the plight. Those people don't understand your plight. Get you somebody who's been in the trenches with you. Get you somebody that you can see every day. Go in the warehouse and get one of them dudes and say, hey, we want you to lead us. We heard about you. A dude whose knuckles are dirty, got dirt under his fingernails. That's what you want. You don't want these snake oil salesmen to keep representing y'all, and that's what y'all keep doing. Y'all keep plucking these, just like this Mayor Johnson. Y'all elected him in. And then as soon as he got in, he told you, homosexuality first, immigration, the whole immigrant thing, Sanctuary City, we putting one of them here in Chicago. We becoming one of them. Prison reform, we're going to do a bail reform for y'all. Now he's talking about how Donald Trump, because see, I was a social studies teacher, and Donald Trump is going to eradicate. No, man, listen, you can sit there and spew all that garbage you want. What you have done, your track record speaks for you. You don't even need to say nothing about Donald Trump. What you need to do is people are looking at your track record, man. You can get up behind that podium and say anything. These people are looking at I don't live in Chicago. People in Chicago look at your track record and say, oh, hell no. We don't want him back. If you go to that town hall meeting, man, them people told him, we vote for Trump because Trump gonna get you the hell out of here. We don't want you anymore. I'm telling you, they was standing up telling this dude that. He said, y'all don't care about us. He said, Trump is gonna come in and fix what's broken. He said, this immigration, they was telling him this immigration thing, all this stuff is out of control and we want you out of here. I was like, whoa. I mean, they mixed no words. So now what y'all need is y'all need somebody who's going to be your spokesman, who speaks to these people, to the Trumps, and you know, they're recognized as your guy because collectively, y'all coming together collectively is scaring the hell out of them. It is, because see, it's the lower class that keeps this thing afloat. And once y'all become one entity like ants, you become one-minded, single-minded, and y'all moving in the same direction. They hate that because now you have the power. There's power in unity. And they, you know, they realize this and they understand this. They don't want you unified. They want to keep you divided because there's power in the lower class. The lower class is the most powerful class, but you just don't recognize it. Now you're starting to realize it, and it's terrifying the hell out of them. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, especially if y'all go out and y'all get somebody over you. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. They, boy, listen, I'm telling you now, y'all doing a good thing down there in Chicago, and I'm proud of y'all for coming to this state of awakening and taking back the power that you have. You have the power. I love it. Man, I'm proud of y'all. And if you haven't heard of the movement yet, the movement is called Flip Red. Check it out. Google the town hall meeting with Mayor Johnson and look how they dress him down. Like I said, everybody's wearing those red shirts, gang members, everybody, because in the lower class, because they're tired of what they're seeing in this, with this democracy, with these Democrats, and how it is affecting them. They're talking about them, and I love that they're talking about them. They ain't talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, Cardi B. They talking about them, the people who have to live in that community, and I love it. I love it, and I wish y'all all the best, man. Stand on business and keep doing what you're doing. Man, let me get back to my 1-2 thing, man, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. So tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one.